are back. This is the final tutorial for Ultraviolet, the Zoo TV version. We just covered the solo. We've covered pretty much all the parts of the song, but I'll just take you through the last sections and the order of the rest of the parts. There might be a couple little things in here to go over, but nothing too substantial. We just finished the solo, and the last version of it that we did was the way that Edge does it in 7th position. It goes like this. And he does that 3 times. So we've covered that solo, and right after that he's going to go into, and I think we also covered this in the last tutorial, but real briefly, he goes into this main riff that we've already covered, and you do this 3 times. So you do that 3 times, and after you do that 3 times, he's going to go back into this little riff that we've also already covered. Okay, we covered that already, so you'll do that twice, and then after doing that twice, you're going to do something similar to that, but he does some muted strummings. So he does the following. I'll just do that twice again. I'll do it just once, and then I'll go into the muted strumming. But you do this, what I'm about to do here, you do it twice. And then you do this. You do some muted strummings, and then you're going to go. So it sounds like this. That was 3 times. So you do muted strum, and then muted strum. So if we put that together, you get this. That was 3 times. Muted strum, do the riff, muted strum, riff, muted strum, riff. And then he does this one more time. However, Edge didn't do that. What I just did, the second half of that riff is what I played. I repeated the 2 parts, this. He does that, but then what he did before the ending of the song, when he plays this just once, he went similar to what he did in the 360 version. So he didn't do this. But you can play that, or you can just go. So all I was trying to explain here, to make a long story short, was what I did right after the scratching part is I just did this one more time. And then instead of doing that last part, you can do this. And then they go into the end of the song, and the end of the song was with, I put the tube drive on. I don't know if Edge put on a drive or not, but I did. And then you're just going to go. Hit the big E. So that, we've already learned this riff, right? It's on the 12th and the 9th. And then he comes back down and he does that again. And that's the end of the song. Okay, I'm going to summarize all this real quick up close so you can see it better. So you're going to do this 3 times. Then you're going to do scratch and this little lick 3 times, these 2 things. And then scratch again, so you do that 3 times. And after you do that 3 times, you go back into this little lick. And then Edge does this time. He goes. He does not play this part. But I did play that in my cover. So I listened to it again later and I noticed that I missed this. I thought he repeated both those parts, but he didn't. He just went on and kept doing this. Then you go into the ending, which is right here on the B and the G, and you do this little riff. Go to the E, like that. Then come back down here. And then that's the end of the song. So there we go. One other thing I want to point out on the scratching, getting in time with the delay is really important. You can, if you muffle the strings here with your left hand if you're a right-handed guitarist, okay, and hit the strings, you can hear that delay. Now, look at your tempo light or know your BPM. Here it's at 108. So 108 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Watch what happens when I just hit the strings on the quarter note beats, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'm not hitting on top of the delay. I'm hitting the quarter notes and then the dotted 8th note, and there's actually an 8th note and a dotted 8th. They're in there filling it in. If you can use your right, you can use your right hand now to get some really interesting rhythm patterns here, okay? Okay, there's a simple one. You're just hitting the strings once. Let me hit. Let the delay do some work, but make sure you're strumming in tempo. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm doing quick upstrokes and slow upstrokes and letting the delay fill in on some of those, and you get this really nice rhythmic feel. So when Edge is doing this part, see, I'm changing it up. I'm not just going, okay, right? I'm not just doing one single beat. I'm using the up and the down and getting in some different types of notes in there, but they're on tempo. So let the delay work for you. Okay, you don't have to go. See, you don't end up hearing the delay. Hit that and let that dotted 8 come in there, and then push it along again. So I just wanted to point that out. You can really learn a lot about the delay and how to play to the tempo of the song and not let the delay get in your way by doing these muted strums. So if we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So practice that right hand rhythm strumming and get into, as they say, the groove. And it will make these little tidbits in the middle of the song sound that much better. So I think I covered that all. There's a couple parts I played differently than the Edge. In the solo I played the same notes but different position. But I showed you how to, the Edge plays it down here on the 7th position. And at the end there I did something a little bit different than the Edge. And I showed you that difference. So I think you now have all the parts to play the Zoo TV version if you like that better than the 360 version. So that completes the Ultraviolet tutorial. We've pretty much covered all the parts. I don't think I missed anything. I know I played a couple things a little different than the Edge, but they're pretty darn close, and I tried to show you the different variations. So thanks for watching. We're going to continue with some other updates to some other tutorials. I've got an update to do for I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and I've got an update for Bad, and I've got an update for Streets. So I got to finish these updates first, and then we'll move on to another song which I haven't chosen yet. So again, thanks for watching, and more to come.